Hey all, it's been a while, and I wanna tell you why it's been a while. Now, I've been making YouTube videos on this channel for a while at this point. I've started around coming on to close to 3 years ago. I'm not close to, but I'm getting there. It was my 3 anniversary on making videos on this channel. And I'm also getting there of my 2-year anniversary on the server, the Synergy server. And something a lot of you will have, I don't know if especially the ones that have watched me for a long time will notice my times, the amount of uploads I did kind of went down. And I won't go into the depths of why, because that's just super personal, but I will explain in the sense that still explains it. So when I started making these videos, I had all the time in the world. Think literally tens of tens of hundreds of hours every day, nothing to do. I was home and home for 24/7. I was not able to go outside for over a year. Again, I won't really go into the details, at least in this video. I may make an actually good video that's scripted about that. However, let's just say I was not in a good state. I was not well, and this was really pretty much my escapism, doing Redstone. No, I started Redstone a long time ago. I wanna say 2016, 2018, something around that. At least before Observers came out. And my first review actually was made with all Observers, but that is on cons. But I didn't really do much Redstone up until, I wanna say 3.5 years ago. And even then I did not do much, and all I did back then was kind of lost on an old PC that died. So I kind of lost all of that. Now, something that is kept me from I'm getting good at Redstone has been my goal for a long time. And you as someone that maybe if you don't know much about Redstone, then that may be something like a straightforward goal, even though the making some of that happen is pretty not much more possible. Let me message there. So yeah. Yeah. It is hard, maybe, or at least that's how it seemed to me. I want to I can't assume everybody thinks like me, but for me it really was like that. It really did not seem like that. Like the route seemed pretty straight, just get good. But because I didn't know any better, I thought it was a straight road. No, right now it feels just wrong saying that, because I know how wrong, how false, how misleading that is. I know that now, but I didn't. So I just started doing Redstone, and I did get better at a pretty interesting rate. Now, something that I did, what is something that a lot of people don't really do anymore, or at least most, if people do it, they don't really connect with the community. I did learn all by myself without any help for the first maybe year. And that slowed me down quite a bit, which is obvious. I mean, the more Redstone you do with other people, the more Redstone you do with experienced people, and the more experienced people teach you about Redstone, you will improve a lot faster. And I will get to why that is important later. But I did not do that. I learned all by myself. I taught everything myself. I made my first 4x4 without anyone ever explaining to me anything. Yes, I've watched Mambo Jumbo. Yes, I've watched you get better with these 10 tips and you will become a Redstone pro. I'll be real with you. Those videos are pretty much wrong. Yes, they teach you about some mechanics, but I'm gonna be very upfront right now. you don't need to know all the mechanics to be good at redstone. You don't need to know niche things to get good at redstone. Yes, niche things are extremely helpful, but the number one thing that is important with redstone is understanding the logic and understanding how to wire. And that's not something a 5 or 10 minute video can teach you. That's something you can only learn by doing it yourself. There's no shortcut to that. Now, there are improvements you can do it. There are ways you can do it more efficiently. However, those are also not that teachable, and I've personally never found a video that explains that. And I do intend on making videos that explain that those kind of approaches that I would take if I would start at zero with my current knowledge. But like what I wanna say is I really did not learn anything from other people. And back then it was also when I started watching YouTubers. And through watching all kinds of different YouTubers, I found the Synergy server. And Synergy server is a place where basically it's the redstone piston door server. There are no other servers like OR for computational. There's Stims, which also has like doors and also computational. But Synergy is by far the biggest one. Like, let's just look at the tab list right now. I mean, doesn't seem like that much, but honestly, having 2 tab lists on a redstone based server is insane. Now, that is something, this community is big and there are some really good redstones around here. And I spent a lot of time on the server. Like, some of the first things I built were this, some dumb Quagon thing, this, whatever this is. This was actually, I built this on my first day. I wanna say, like almost 2 years ago. Back then, redstone really was, I did not know how much potential the server would unlock for me. I met some of the greatest redstoners that are active right now. I've wired doors with insanely good people. There are doors that I've not shown on this channel because I think I just didn't contribute enough by myself. But I've wired a lot of doors, a lot of great doors with a lot of great people. For example, take these. At the moment I open chat, take this door for example, or this door. 2 doors that I made together with Hi. A really good observerless, but also all around really good redstone that's good at small redstone. And really good, just better than me. I made doors with, let me find a door that's, is that, with Doormaker. Doormaker also being one of the best, if not the best, small piston creator of all time. And especially, like, undoubtedly he is the best one right now. I am beyond happy that people like that I've managed to connect with those people. I've done doors with so many great people. Someone that you may or may not know. I've done, like I've mentioned them on this channel before, but I don't think it conveys how good of a redstoner they are as Frozen Whiskers. I made a lot of those with Frozen, and well, he is insane. He started before me, and he, ever since like I also did redstone, he has had the upper edge. And to be honest, that's something that I've looked up to him basically my entire redstone career, and I've never really told him that. So if you're watching this, Frozen, hello, and yes, that is true, and you are better than me. You can't deny that. But yeah. Yeah, redstone. Where was I? Um, yeah. I wanted to say something I forgot. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Oh god. Yeah. I really should join on my old account. I think that would be a smart move, but I just can't do it. Oh my god, okay, we'll definitely cut this. Okay. I'll just ignore people that thingy. Okay. But I swear to God. So, completely lost my train of thought. Now, my approach to becoming good at redstone. Oh my fucking god! Why? Okay, don't get me wrong. But let me message Parker also. Parker too. Oh my god. I should have really joined Multicon. No, my approach to doing redstone, and especially in the beginning, which is also kind of true to this day, has been an iterative improvement. Basically, I don't like make my first spend ages on my first door. I make my first door, no matter how cringe and bad it is, and I build on that. Very good example are these two door categories right in front of my plot. This one being the first one I ever made with OGamer. Well, top was some OGamer. I did some bottom and bottom sides, like this side part on here was made by me this South time. And this was the first one I made completely by myself. And well, I made a lot of these, and even this one, which is one of like a really weird one, and this one which is non-locational. I don't know if it actually like the original version was in location, but it's at least synchronized on the last move. For the bottom doubles, and stores like these that are basically I've done a whole boatload of doors in my time on the redstone with redstone. Oh my god, I'm very sorry about this. My train of thought is not that great. Now, something that this iterative approach is good and all, but it has a lot of flaws also. Basically, it works for those that don't take ages to finish. Let's say you want to build a 4x4. Well, 4x4s, the first 4x4 might take you a few days, the second one, no, like depends on how much you challenge yourself, but let's say it will take you less time, but still a lot of time. And that just over and over and over again, and with no real end in sight. And that is, I mean, that's not a, that works. I mean, it worked for me. Like a good example for that, how that approach can actually be very good is this cracked referee. This was my very first one. 495 blocks. Really fucking bad. However, to this day, it is the start to a journey of redstone that I spent way too much time on, and but also got me better. Now, I might do a video on this separately why I even started doing cracked, and don't take this out of context. However, the long story short is I made my door smaller and smaller until I tied the world record with this door, regularly world record. Then I beat the world record the first time. And then my world record got beaten and I tied that with Frozen. Then I tied about managed to make a new layout that I then wired with Gedru for the first time. Made it 2 wide for the first time and then 1 wide for the first time. And then made it even smaller. One of these smaller. I think this one is to this day is the smallest. It is one of the more prouder doors I've done. Now it is weird and yeah, it is a weird door. However, it is a really great door and I'm happy with it. But that's not what this video is about. It's a video that like this, it's not about cracked, but it is about the fact like my approach to redstone. It is really clear with this. I made a lot of versions of doors in the beginning, and another great example of that is 2x2 hipsters. That I think this one was, I don't know which one was my first one. 168. I think this one was my first one actually. Also, by the way, if you're watching this video and you see that you teleported to me, I am not mad or angry at you. I really don't care that much. The only thing that's really bad about that is that it interrupts my train of thought and I sometimes have trouble finding it. Just a little while. But yeah, getting back to the topic. I made a lot of 2x2 hipsters. This one, then I made a faster one. Doesn't look that much faster, but I tried that. Then this one, also fast. Then a 144, which is cutting the back layer. And 144 is important for us to remember. And then I made this one. I think, I don't know which order from here. That worked. And this took like I don't know, it took a long time, and this was like my best 144 for a long time. You can see it's pretty fast, and honestly it's really nice, and I would make a tutorial on this. However, I have a way better 144. Now, I kind of had max those at this point, and I did a TNT piston door, which was my first one. Then, which was 5 wide, which I didn't like, so I made a 4 wide one. And this one is still not great. As you can see, like it's a bit weird with the observer pusher being stored one lower, which makes the sequence a bit slower. And then recently, like by the way, size of this one is 160. And this one is 150, so smaller than like my first 2x2 hipster. Because it uses a way different layout, which basically here I push on these blocks here, and this TNT so it doesn't get powered gets pushed here, and that's how this works, which allows for some very interesting sequencing. But it works, and that's like a door I made recently. However, you can see I still to this day do the iterative approach. However, now I'm gonna show you a door example where that gets really hard. Now there are 2 ways of making iterative things painful, like iterative approach. That is, if you make your first door insanely good, then it gets just increasingly harder and harder to improve on it. That's the case with the first 8x8 I made together with Blockstaff, which is a pretty good size, and I basically need to use some cringe layout or really cringe inputs that are just beyond insane. Basically, the store is not beatable unless I make it faster, which, I mean, I will get into that later, why that is not that much of an option for me. But that's the thing. Like, if you make your first door really good, then iterative just gets painful and you burn out really fast. Which, I mean, that's kind of counterproductive because you want to make your doors as good as you can, right? But also you don't, because when they are too good, you can improve on them, and at least with iterative approaches. So you can't improve on your doors, and you get sad that you can't improve on your doors, and you see there's a flaw in that logic. But truth be told, it is still like I do think there's a lot of value in that approach. But it at some point just is not feasible anymore. Like, for example, a door that I've worked on, or like that I'm working on right now, because all by like me not having done or made any videos recently in the last month, like I think 2 months actually by now. I have not quit Redstone. I did do Redstone, and I pivoted towards a direction that I, to be honest, favor over the previous approaches. However, it also is really hard and really painful and takes way longer. Just as a quick like show, this store, by the way, this is the work in like an older work in progress version. The bottom alone took me around 20 to 30 hours, which in itself is quite like the most amount of time I've spent on any door as of right now. And then that on top of the fact that I am in school and this year I will have my finals, which means that I don't have as much time. And usually right now I wouldn't even allow myself to play Minecraft, because I only allow myself to play Minecraft on normal days after 8 p.m. Today it's just like I'm so exhausted from school today. And I did a lot of my work for school actually in school already, so I don't have that much to do. So also I'm recording a video. I'm not doing Redstone right now. But you get the idea. I have less time and I'm working longer on doors. Now, I will make a dedicated video talking about the store. I teased it on a lot. However, actually, something that's cool, I want to mention here, there's another door I teased on as being one of the greatest doors ever built. And that door is also 6x6, however, it's not the 6x6. When I've finished both, I don't know which door will take the title as my best door as of that moment. Both doors are in the contending. It's this one, which is in 1080 Obelisk 6x6. Which is an improvement over the former 1260, I think this was, with frozen blocks, where honestly I'm not sure if I deserve that much credit, but yeah, that's why I'm building the store now. And I wanted to do it solo. I burned out with it, and so I had some help from Hi with on bottom entity placement. I had help from Frozen with bottom lime. However, the logic in this side here, which is the main thing that took me so long, actually I did all of that, and I will explain it in another video because I'm actually quite proud of this. Now the top is something that I burned out on for quite a while, and then Doormaker actually was the one that got me like motivated again. And now the most active and recent version of the door is this one. You can see like this one seems to be quite wired up already. I mean, it does not look that much better, but I've made like a full different like closing is fully wired here for the top. However, the most like finished version is this one here, which seems like it's less because I've taken out a lot of the quad circuitry in the front, because I honestly I had to rewire a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna just fly here into FreeCam. It's my plot, so who cares? First of all, oh my, this fucking end loop was way too painful, and I have to redo it now because of a different and changed loop right here. It will be interesting and fun to do. I mean, I do have an idea to fix it, but it is gonna be pain. This loop. However, what was the most amount of pain was fixing this the pulls to this line, which as you can see right now is this, which is really not bad. However, just as a little explaining into why it was bad. Basically, you see this is like the thing where actually let me just like show it with a play character because that's easier. So like what I would have is this, a repeater powering this, and that would power this input. which is the powering this, but also doing like all of the retracting moves for the quad, except for the last one, which is like refire based. However, the problem with that is that this also supposed to lower dust here, which is actually the quad input, so the quad just refires itself. So I had this toggle here and experiment around with it, and experiment around with having like a powdered snow dispenser right here, which never really ended up working. And that's something that was a lot of pain. And I mean, the thing is, like, you would think, okay, I can just remove this like one more round, and then like I could remove this because it's only for the powdered snow idea. But there's a repeater behind here, and I really can't change this. Like, it may seem like I can, but I actually can't. That's something else to explain there. So it was hard doing that, and my solution, as jank as it is having a juke box right here that I insert music disc into, and take it out with with a card. In this case, sitting on a campfire, which is quite funny. But like actually things you may think, oh, campfire and slab have a similar height. However, actually, like you can see there's actually less of a height, and that is like the difference. Actually, that 1 pixel or 2 pixel difference is actually important in this case, because otherwise it wouldn't be able to grab from this. It also can't be too low, because then the hopper is also clipped into here, does not pull from this, so that's fun. And also like the resetting of this item, like it goes into this hopper and then over, and has like a really cringe item loop. However, that actually made me able to remove this dust, and like this solution seems overcomplicated, but believe me, I spent also a good 4 hours as of right now on this, and this is the best thing I could come up with. And I mean, I couldn't came up with this yesterday, and boy, like I won't change this just because it's a bit cringe. This whole door is cringe, but I like it, and that's all that matters to me. However, this door is also a very good example of my current approach not being so like really like suitable for me continuing redstone. If I make draws at this rate, okay, I have a 1040, like 1040 6x6, and I want to make it a better 1040 6x6, and then a better 1040 6x6. But my first version took me, what I'm estimating, like 30, 40, maybe even 50 hours. I will simply not do that. I will simply just burn out, quit redstone, and do something completely different. And to be honest, that's not what I want to do. Like, yes, I won't spend the like same time maybe as I did like 2 years ago, a year ago. I don't have the time anymore, but I definitely still want to do redstone. So, also sorry if I like do weird noises with my mouth. I since the like my last use that also was already kind of the case, but I have braces, so and that they just make weird, like my mouth do weird noises without me really doing like I'm not really able to do anything about it. But yeah, that's you see, like the 1080 Oblas iterative approaches don't work anymore. So what is the logical like what is a logical conclusion from that? Just build the doors that I want to, right? I mean, that's obvious and something that would make a lot of sense, but actually no. This is a weird problem that I kind of can't explain. Well, so before I will actually explain that, let me explain another thing. I got diagnosed, it's like pretty much 90%, 99% sure that I have ADHD. I don't know how obvious this has been to my videos. It has not been that obvious for me for a long time. But I have ADHD. So, and a quick summary of what that means for redstone. Either I do a crazy door that I want to do, and then I have all the motivation in the world, or I don't do it at all. Basically doing a door that I don't really want to do with not that much motivation, doing it lackluster, I'll just quit. That's with ADHD, and that's something that is very true. But something I did before this, but I never knew that that was linked to ADHD and how my brain is stupid. However, there's a huge problem that comes with this, and that problem is called what I call perfectionism / completionism, which is a word that I kind of made up, but basically it's this. I have made, when I got better with those, I made a 3x3, then I made a 4x4, then a 5x5, and only then a 6x6, and after that a 7x7. And only after that an 8x8. So the logical next step would be a 9x9. However, I don't want to make a 9x9. I don't care enough to make a 9x9. Yes, it's harder than an 8x8, but not by an amount that I would think, I think I would benefit a whole lot of. The draw I want to make is let's say, just as a hypothetical, let's say I want to make a 13x13. Well, my brain, my perfectionism / completionism tells me, oh, but before you do that, you should do an 12x12, 11x11, 10x10, and 9x9 before that. You do realize that is an insane amount of work. And doing a 13x13 on its own is already quite a time-consuming job and not that easy. But doing all of the other dozen before, I mean, yes, maybe it'd be good practice. Maybe it would make the 13x13 ever so slightly easier. But yet at the same time, it would just make me, before I will be even able to start on the 13x13, I will spend maybe in the neighborhood of 100 hours on these 4 or 5 doors. And that will just mean I will never start. Because if you remember from a second ago, my ADHD basically only gives me motivation for a thing if I do immediately the thing that I want to do, which is in this case the 13x13. So not doing that immediately makes my ADHD not wanting to do it at all. Yet at the same time, if I don't do the other doors, the other part of my brain isn't happy. And I think you can see where that leads to problems. And something that is a bit annoying. And I did... Sorry for yawning, I've talked for a while now and I'm getting tired. But that stands in those two things stand opposite from each other. They are contrary. They don't make sense. They can't really coexist. And me finding out with ADHD has given me an option to deal with that. And my method of dealing with that, well, I will just listen to ADHD, do what is best for my ADHD. Because honestly, otherwise I will burn out. I've done it. I've applied a few ideas for that in my actual, in my IRL also, and they've worked tremendously well. I may consider making an actual a video on that if you are interested. However, this is a Minecraft channel, not a medicine channel, so I don't want to dive too deep into ADHD. It is just important for the context of me doing less redstone. So yeah. Now the other reason why I do less redstone. I said this already, I'm in school. I'm in school to become basically it is a state if you would translate the title, it's state stately tested assistant for IT and technological management. That sounds really stupid, but it basically just means I do IT and I can actually, it's a real job title. And believe me, it does not sound as bad in German. It's just with English titles, it always sounds kind of cliche. However, that is also not that easy. And besides that, my most likely career goal as of right now is that after this I maybe do make an extra few years to get a certificate that I can go to uni, and then I will go to uni, or that's at least my plan as of right now. So by the way, if I would go to uni, I would study also comp science, computer science, which I think would be really funny, and not funny, but really fun, and something I didn't think I would be able to do a few years back. So yeah, it would be kind of really cool if I managed that. However, as you can probably imagine, that will take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I will, to be honest, just be burned out a lot if I actually end up doing that. not burned out, but like it will be a long time before like other things will be able to happen. Now that is not that bad. I mean, doing stuff that is hard to do is not like I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good, but it also just takes a lot of time. For example, as of right now, I'm like when I'm in school, I am also in front of a PC for like 7-8 hours a day. And like no, I'm not just sitting in school like watching videos. I'm actually doing something there. I'm actually using my brain. And that is something that is like the more I've done that, the less I've had the motivation or energy to. So I completely lost my train of thought, but that's not bad. Now, yeah, basically I'm gonna do the doors I want to make and not gonna do the doors that I feel like other people want me to make. So that will mean one really big thing that I, as of right now, I don't like. It's been a hard decision. So the two things I've enjoyed recently are observerless and zero tick. And one of those categories I've enjoyed a whole lot more, which is observerless. So I'm going to focus on observerless redstone because the last point I want to get into, because like I probably didn't even finish the point I was talking about before. But I am, if you compare me to anyone that has been doing the redstone for the same amount of time that I have, and compare me and like what they do, I will always be worse. And it's easy to say, yeah, I just have a skill issue, and there is some truth to that. However, the truth is that I am not a specialized redstone. I am an all-rounder. I can do small redstone, I can do fast redstone, I can do observerless, I can do observer full, I can make really tiny doors, I can make quite fast doors. I know a good amount of certics. I also can do literally every weird ass restriction there is. Like, just look at this door. Like, I literally, as of right now, I have like two that I don't have in this door, like category with. I mean, it doesn't really mean much, but this is like a thing. Smallest 4x4, smallest 5x5. Like, what the hell? That door is so then like 6x6 with gilded, with only comparators and stuff. It's quite a funny door. I've shown doors from like this door I've shown actually, and don't get me wrong, I do like making these kinds of doors, but I would lie if I would say that it is not a bit weird and, well, weird to do those. Um, God, me when I get sidetracked. Basically, what I want to say is I have not, and I never really specialized in anything. I've done everything, and I'm semi good at everything. Yet if you take like compare me to someone that is good at one thing and one thing only, which has spent a similar amount of time than I have, I will be worse than them. One example being Agana. So I will actually go to a second club because that will better show some of the doors he made. Like, he focuses on zero tick, as you can see, and he joined Synergy after I did. And he has made some insane doors, which I hope I'm not spoiling anything. Like fastest 6x6 glass, for example. Spam door, that is sad. But he made insane doors. And he only did it fast. This was his first 7x7, which is quite mad. F1. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. This is some safer because he actually sees. So yeah, I'm gonna focus on observerless. That's the big change, number one. The big change, number two, I will do the doors that I want to make and not those that other people, I think other people expect me to make, which just means I will spend a lot of time on not a lot of doors. So my upload schedule will be even worse than usual, and I will change the way I do videos. I will still do uncut videos. However, those will be way rarer because I just work, instead of focusing on a lot of doors, making a lot of quantity of doors, I will focus on the quality, make a lot of instead of making a lot of doors, I will make a few doors, but those few doors will be actually good. No, that was kind of hard. That's the first thing. Second point, then yeah. Also, I will make tutorials. I'd also generalize tutorials because, as I mentioned earlier in this video, I don't think that there are some really good and really up-to-date tutorials, and a lot of the tutorials that are out there that teach general redstone and not just some weird quirks and mechanics. I don't think that most of those videos are really that good, I'm gonna be honest. And if you're upset about because of that, I guess on sand. I think it's a fact that yeah, I will make my own videos basically, and I will make my own tutorial videos, and this will also take some time. However, I do plan to explain every door I made from the bottom up. Oh, that is just funny. Yeah, so basically less videos, higher quality videos. Also, I won't talk about this much, but I've got an opportunity to work on one of the coolest redstone projects ever in the history of redstone. And yeah, I do think that also that when that will release in one, maybe in a year or two at this rate, then I would really much like that. So yeah, this is an insane door, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit weird, a bit different, but also long, so that's at least on brand for me. So yeah, see you all.